of holistic wellness and health. I am also a certified master gardener and certified permaculture designer. Holistic wellness and health makes healthy living easy, nutritious, delicious, and fun with a focus on plant-based foods to help you live a healthier and more vibrant life. We offer meditation, cooking classes, as well as cooking demonstrations. We offer gardening as well as health coaching. So today we are focusing on container gardening and specifically straw bale gardening. So this is April and it's National Garden Month as well as National Stress Awareness Month. So gardening is a great way to help with stress relief, and it's been shown to be beneficial for physical health, mental health, as well as spiritual health. So let's get gardening. So, sorry for the background noise, I'm in the city, and so straw bale gardening is a great place to do gardening if you have limited space, if you have a yard that it might not be yours or renting, or if you're in an apartment area, you don't have a lot of space, this is perfect for that. So some of the benefits of straw bale gardening is that you don't need a lot of soil. Soil, if you're importing it, can be expensive. So you want to make sure, so there's one of the benefits. So there are other benefits to it as well, including you can get a longer growing period. You can get a longer growing period with straw bale gardening. You can, because of the temperature increase that will happen with this, you can actually get about an extra month of growing in the spring and the fall. Is anyone joining?
Yes, hi. We have 8 people.
Okay, awesome. So if you all have any questions, be sure to ask. I know I have a lot of background noise out here, so I'm going to try to project my voice a little stronger for you all. So another benefit of this is it's basically a natural raised bed. So you don't have to spend money on soil or wood to build a raised bed, and it's economical. So you can get straw bales for anywhere from about $1 to $12 a bale, depending on where you are in the country and where you get it from. You can get these from box stores, you can get it from craft stores, home improvement stores, and your local farms. I suggest getting it from an organic farmer. You can usually get it at cost, and you know that there's no harmful pesticides, fungicides, herbicides, or any of the other chemicals that might be in it. So you try to get it from an organic source if you can. And this is great, like I was saying earlier, it's great for small spaces. So if you have a patio, a balcony, a porch, a flat rooftop, you can do this pretty much anywhere. These bales are also great because you don't have to weed as much. So, and you don't have to worry about soil disease because there's no soil in this to start. So if you're going to do this on a grass area, you want to make sure, there's several areas. So first of all, you can do it on concrete, you can do it on a grassy area, you can do it on mud. If you're doing it on mud, you definitely want to put a barrier down because it will become mushy as you're watering. I'm being told, I don't know, can you all hear me? Let me know if you can do a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Because I know I'm competing with a lot of background noise. So just give me a thumbs up, let me know you can hear me. If not, then I'll try to do something a little different.
Oh, I got one thumbs up.
Okay. So I'm going to continue. So,
one person asks, where would they get straw? Okay.
So, the best place, if you are in a country area, you can get it from your local farmer. A lot of farms will have it, farm stands. You can ask even your farmers that don't grow this type of material. They have friends, so you can ask them. That's one of the best ways to get it. That's what I did. I asked a farmer friend who got it from another farm. So that's how I got these bales. You can get it from Home Depot or like one of the big like home improvement stores. You can get it from craft stores as well. But you won't know like what conditions it was grown in. So I like to get it from a farmer if possible. I don't really have any specific sources right now, but that's something that you can look into. Okay, so this, when you're sourcing hay or straw, you want to make sure you're getting either wheat, barley, rye, or oats. You can also do vetch. That's good as well. You want to use those types of material because they have nice stalks that are not too coarse. So you don't want to use something like linseed or flaxseed. It has a lot of oil in it, and it's harder for it to break down. And making sure I'm looking at my notes. You don't want to use corn and linseed. So corn the stalks are extremely coarse. They don't break down as readily, and it's harder to grow in. Okay. So I'm being told I need to speak a little louder. So I'm going to try. That's why I'm changing my voice right now. So let me go over some of the issues with using straw. So straw has a lot of great benefits, but it does dry out. So it takes about 2 weeks to get this prepared for growing in. So there is some time and effort and energy up front, but on the back end, the rest of the growing season, you don't have to do as much work. The first 14 days is important to water this every single day to make sure it's getting the moisture that will be needed to grow your plants. Another issue is because it dries out, you have to make sure you have access to a water source. But you can put gallons of water near your container. It takes about 2 to 5 gallons of water to start, and then after that, a few gallons a day, just to keep it nice and moist. Another issue is that you have to add nutrients. Because this is mostly carbon, you have to add nitrogen. Your plants love nitrogen, so you have to add nitrogen to this. There are different ways to do that because I try to do everything in a veganic gardening manner. I have to use different chemicals that are natural but also doesn't have any animal products. But there are different sources of nitrogen you can use, including kelp, alfalfa. I'm going to actually use my home compost and spread that on here. So a couple of days ago I started getting this wet. I soaked this in water and let it sit. The temperature started increasing the very next day. That was yesterday. So let's go over a couple of things. Talk about some of the things you need to get started. Of course, is the straw, water source, and potting soil fertilizer. So we're going to actually focus down on our straw right now. So if you look down, you can kind of see, looks like straw, little holes in here. When you're setting this up, you want to make sure that you have the twine is horizontal to the ground. So in here, the twine is horizontal to the ground. I'm actually flip this over. You also want to make sure that the cut side is up. On the other side, it's actually folded. So let me just give you a look at that. So this is the cut side. This is how you horizontal, but you want it on the other side up. This is the bottom. So you don't want this side up. It'll make it harder to actually get your hands in there to put your plants in. It'll make it harder for the water to absorb in here as well. So that's why I have this cut side up. So let me just turn this up. So these bales are 50 pounds. When you're deciding where you want to put your bale, you want to make sure you put it on as flat surface as possible. I'm using a container, but if you don't have a container to use, you can use concrete. You can use concrete cinder blocks to help prop it up if you need to, or if you're on an unsturdy area. You can also use a fencing to kind of fence it around. Also, if you're growing on ground and you have pests in your area like moles or groundhogs, you might want to use some wire fencing, like a chicken wire, under your bale before you get started, just to prevent creatures from coming up and getting your delicious produce. So we are going to get started with this. Sure, does anyone have any questions, first of all?
No questions as of now.
Okay, awesome. So I'm actually going to start wetting this. I'm going to turn my hose on. And, let me talk about preparing this on grass. If you are doing this on grass, one of the benefits is if you don't own the property or you don't want to change your grass, you can just put some newspaper, cardboard down, and you're not digging or disturbing like that soil there. With cardboard, as well as like a fabric cloth to prevent weeds from coming up and kind of prevent some pests as well. So this, if you're growing it on grass, I'm growing it in a container, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to go in and get this started, and then I'll explain the process for the next 14 days. In one moment, you can just kind of focus down on here. So this is also great for people who are like in wheelchairs. You can do this from just a sitting position. This is great for kids, a great activity for kids to do as well. So I'm going to make sure this gets nice and wet. Part of this will help our plants in the future retain water. It's also going to help break down the process here of the plants decomposing. You actually do want it to start decomposing. It'll start basically being like a fertilizer for your plants. This bale will last about 2 years, and I will be able to get several growing seasons. So it's spring right now, so I'll be able to plant my spring crops in a couple of weeks. Once I harvest those, I'll put in summer crops and fall crops. I am in the northeast, mid-Atlantic region, so I will probably be able to get a winter crop in here as well. I haven't decided if I want to do that yet, but it's a possibility. So you can grow potatoes, carrots. I've known people to grow melons. You can grow squash in here. Just getting the hose in there, getting nice and soaked. If you don't have a water hose, just use a watering can. Or when you're getting started, you can even use buckets of water. Just want to make sure it gets soaked all the way down. You can grow herbs. You can grow a lot of different things in here. Some bales, you will find some seeds. Actually, I'm finding, I don't know what this is. I found something in here. There's a seed head. So every once in a while, you will find seeds, and that's okay. You want to use straw instead of hay because hay has seeds in it. And hay tends to be more expensive than straw. However, if you can get some hay for free, take it, and you can still use it. You can either deal with the seeds that are coming up. Like everything that'll grow will be edible, so you can use that if you want. If you don't want those seeds, or you consider them to be weeds, you can actually kill it by wrapping your hay, and you can do the same thing with straw if you're concerned about any growth. You can actually wrap it in a black cloth or black plastic for a few weeks, about 5, 6, 7 weeks, and put it out like just to prevent any seeds. So if you could put it in a hot area, that's beneficial. It'll kill any seeds or most of the seeds that are in your bale. So if that's something you're worried about, you can prep this even a few weeks earlier. Take these off. Oh, you can also get bales from like feed stores. That's a great way to get your straw. It's really what they want for feed stores is hay. A lot of hay is used for feeding. So that's one way to think about it. Now, one of the benefits of using hay is that it actually does have nitrogen in it because of the seeds are still in there. So you don't have to add quite as many nutrients as I will for this. So I'm going to let that keep going. And I'm going to add my organic compost. Have a compost bin for a few years now, so I'm just going to put some of that on here to get this started, as well as it's mixed with a little bit of organic potting mix that has alfalfa meal and kelp meal in it. So I was able to find a potting mix that already has those ingredients in it. So if anyone has any questions on the replay, feel free to ask. Make sure you tag me so that I can actually see it. So I've got my little mix here. This is about 4 cups. If you're using just straight up fertilizer, you only need about a cup or 2. The first number, when you see numbers on those packets, it's 3 numbers. The first number is the nitrogen. So a lot of people like to put a whole lot of nitrogen on like the inorganic stuff. I prefer to do this as natural as possible. That's one of the benefits of growing your own food, is that you can control what you're growing it in and what's in there. All right. Just going to water that in really well. So what I was talking about earlier with using the black plastic is called solarizing your bales. So you can just like look that up to see what I'm talking about. If you want more information on solarizing your bales to prevent any seeds from growing. I know there are some seeds in here, but I'm not concerned about that. Cool thing about this is if you're growing stuff like potatoes and carrots, it won't be so dirty when you go to harvest it. And carrots love this because they get to grow straight down and have the room to actually grow. Let that keep going. So usually every other day, if you want to add fertilizer of some sort, in my case compost, to this, and you do want to water every single day. You want to make sure you're keeping this nice and moist throughout. So I'll come back next week to show you all the temperature increase. So these bales can get up to about 150 degrees Fahrenheit, which is very hot. So you can't grow in this right away, because if you do try to put any transplants or seeds in here, it will kill the seed. So you want to wait, give it that time to actually condition. We're conditioning our straw right now. It's worth it to do the 2 weeks, and then afterwards you'll be able to grow really anything in here. Tomatoes, cucumbers, eggplants, all of those types of things. Some people have grown corn. It's not recommended to grow anything that's top heavy, but you can do tomatoes that are like bush tomatoes, or pretty much anything that'll be bush. You can do fruit in here. Strawberries are great to do in here as well. I will probably do some strawberries as like a cover crop for this, and then do some other plantings. I have 4 bales, so I haven't decided where I'm putting 2 of the other ones, but 2 are going in my backyard, that's for sure. And then I will show you all the planting process as well, which will be in a couple of weeks. So this is really economical way to do gardening in a small space. You can do this with very limited funding and grow really for several seasons in here. So you can use, I brought up alfalfa meal, compost, and kelp. You can get kelp extract. You can actually make your own compost tea as well. So if you have compost, or if you don't have a lot of compost, you have a friend that has compost, you can actually soak your compost in water for a day and add some blackstrap molasses, unsulfured molasses, and you can get your hands on some alfalfa. That's great. But just kind of feed that good bacteria, and then you can use that to kind of add some great microbes and nutrients to your medium here. So that's one of the things. You definitely want some good microbes in here, and you want to make sure you have the right nutrients in here. You need about 16 minerals. Of course, definitely the nitrogen, the phosphorus, and potassium. You have a question?
Yeah, well, Ulysses suggested, I believe, for getting bales at Southern States Farm Supply, which is on Frederick Road, 9064 Frederick Road in Ellicott City, Maryland.
Awesome. Thank you, Ulysses. Ulysses is also a farmer gardener and has a lot of knowledge as well. Thank you for joining in. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that resource. I'm going to look into it. I don't need any more this year, though. But for other people, because I might do some yards for some other folks in my family. This is a great way to just be self-sufficient, being able to grow your own food. You never know when you just need to be able to have your own supply of food and nourishment. So every other day for 14 days, you're going to basically continue to add some nutrients to this. And you're going to water every single day. Very important to water every day. If you're in a dry climate, in a desert type area, definitely you might need to water more than once a day getting started, depending on how dry your area is. Like I said, I'm in the northeast. We do get rain regularly, so I should be okay. And this area is not too dry. I might do one on my porch, which will require more maintenance, more watering. I haven't decided yet. For those who have watched, I've already started some plants out there in containers. I've started some container gardening, so if you want, you can check out those videos on YouTube. You can go to Holistic Wellness and Health, check that out. Just Google it on YouTube. My site has the Apple logo. You can also check out later on today. I'll be going live at 5 o'clock doing a cooking demo, and I'll be using produce from the Green Garden Farm, Urban Farm in Northeast Baltimore. So you can definitely check me out this afternoon. I'll be cooking up some dishes using their carrots. They're organically grown carrots. So if there's no questions, definitely, like for people watching the replay, make sure you tag my name so that I can actually see the question and I will answer. I will be editing this video and putting it on YouTube as well. So there'll be a whole section on straw bale gardening. So if you want to check that out, that'll be available soon. I do have recipes and other resources on my website at holistic-wellnessandhealth.com. I'm just going to water this just for a little while longer. And I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. So my name is Crystal Forman. I am your plant-based health and wellness educator, helping you live a healthy and vibrant life. Make sure you check us out Facebook. If you're watching here, you're there. If you haven't liked the page, go on and like our page. If you are on Instagram, it's Holistic Wellness and Health, no space. And on Twitter, it's Holistic Wellness with no E and an S. So thank you all again for tuning in and have a beautiful day. Peace and blessings.